Okay, so good evening all and welcome to another session of Snowflake. Let's have a quick confirmation from you guys. You're able to see my screen and my voice is clear, right?
Yes, Abdul.
Yes, Abdul.
Okay, thank you guys. Today we will be starting with Snowflake pricing. Last time we covered the architecture of Snowflake and later on we saw a few different additions which Snowflake provides to us. And also we saw how the web UI looks. Although I have a dedicated session on giving you a web UI tool, but since there was a little difficulty going on in visualizing how warehouses look and what exactly happens, so I thought I will just give a brief web UI tool to you, so it will help you to visualize. Okay, so yeah, and don't worry. I mean, you will be able to once we do the web UI tool, you will be very well able to connect with the theory that we have been covering till now. And hopefully by tomorrow, we will start the web UI tool. Okay. So today's topic is basically Snowflake pricing. Okay. The pricing model. So as you know, cloud service providers, basically they have a particular pricing model, or for that matter, anybody in this world who has a business will have a particular pricing model, right? So as far as cloud is concerned, we all know that we have heard the definition, the general definition which comes with the cloud is that you have to pay as per your usage. Okay, so say for example, you are using their resources for 10 minutes, you will be charged for 10 minutes. Okay, once you stop using it, you will not be charged for it anymore. So that is a general pricing model which cloud services basically come with. And till as of today, we know that Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse, and obviously behind the scenes, it is using cloud services for procuring your EC2 machines and S3 bucket for storage as far as AWS is concerned. Okay, so Snowflake comes with its own pricing model. Okay, you don't have to worry of how to pay to the cloud services that you're using. I mean, for example, if it is AWS, how what is the pay model for EC2 or what is the pay model for S3? That is not our concern as Snowflake users. Okay, we are dealing directly with the Snowflake. Okay, we are not bothered of what is happening at the back. We will be dealing with Snowflake. Okay, what is their profit margin with AWS? What is their cut? We don't need to be bothered about it. We just need to be bothered that okay, whether our economical budget fits with the Snowflake pricing model or not. That's it. We don't care. Snowflake tomorrow cannot come and tell us that AWS is charging us so much, this and this. They have changed their pricing model. We need to also revise it. They won't tell you. They will simply revise it, or they won't tell you that based on this and that. So because you are a direct customer who is interacting with Snowflake. Okay. So we will start with Snowflake pricing. To begin with, we should understand what a credit is. Okay. So whenever we do some transactions from say our Google Pay, maybe, right? You do a Google Pay transaction of say you pay say 1,000 rupees, okay, and you book some cinema tickets. Okay. So in turn, what Google Pay says, okay, you got a redemption voucher of say what 50 points. Okay, you got a redemption voucher of 50 points. For simplicity, let's say 100 points. So these 100 points which they are giving to you is actually some money, right? So what they say is, okay, once you have 100 points and you keep collecting, and if you go up to say 500 points, you will be eligible to buy maybe maybe 4 tickets next time, or maybe if you buy up to, I mean, if you get vouchers up to or collect redemption voucher up to 1,000 points, then you can buy some accessories or maybe a watch, something like that. Okay, so basically this 100 points, this is actually mapped to a certain amount of money, isn't it? So it could be like, so it depends on Google Pay. I mean, what kind of mapping they have done. For example, for 100 points, they will say it means, okay, 50 rupees. And so on, they will calculate. Okay, so if you collect up to 1,000 points, it will go up to 500 rupees, right? So that's how the mapping will be. So this is kind of a redemption voucher and points that you must have collected if you have done any transactions through your online payment gateways, or even on Amazon, right? You get some vouchers and points. So similarly, in Snowflake, there is no direct uh, dollar charging for you that, okay, if you used my warehouse, this is my warehouse. If you have, suppose this is a 2 node cluster, okay, and this is 2 node cluster. And if you have used it for say 1 hour, you will be charged say $2. Okay. So it's not like that in Snowflake. So Snowflake works on credits. And it is the analogy is something like a redemption voucher or 100 points point system. Okay. So they will say you have consumed. So if you have consumed the usage, I mean, suppose you have used this particular virtual warehouse for say 1 hour, okay, so you will be charged with say 1 credit, okay, 1 credit per hour. You will be charged with 1 credit per hour. So this 1 credit will have some mapping. Like, okay, this would be $2 or $3, something like that. And how this will vary is it will depend on certain factors which we will study today. Okay, so let's see the definition of credit here. A Snowflake credit is a unit of measure. Snowflake credits are used to pay for the consumption of resources on Snowflake. Simple to understand. It is consumed only when a customer is using resources, such as when a virtual warehouse is running, the cloud service layer is performing work, or serverless features are used. Okay. User receives $400 worth of free usage upon creation of Snowflake free trial account. So this we have seen already last time when we saw the UI. So whenever you create a account in the Snowflake for the as a trial account in the beginning, you will receive a $400 amount worth from Snowflake, and you can use this for free. Which means basically, if you're using their virtual warehouses, if you're using the storage, so up to $400 you can use it for free. That's what it means. So here, if you see, it is saying when a customer is using resources such as when a virtual warehouse is running. So as we all know, that's architecture, from the architecture, that it has got 3 layers, and the middle layer, which is also the muscle of the Snowflake system, is our virtual warehouse. And that is the place where all the query processing is happening. So if you are using this virtual warehouse, you will be consuming certain credits. Okay. Then we also know that the virtual warehouse, the cloud service layer, which is also the brain, which is also the brain of Snowflake. This is also doing some management, right? So many things it is doing: warehouse management, optimization of the query, then authentication, it is storing the metadata information. So it is also doing some work. So that also is consuming certain credits. Okay. Then there is something called a serverless features that we will study when we are going to study the Snowpipe feature. So consider that also as a certain warehouse only. That is also nothing but a warehouse only, but it is not this virtual warehouse. Okay, so don't confuse with it. So all these are are being used whenever it is being used. I mean, you are utilizing these resources, so you will be consuming credits, which will ultimately uh, be mapped to certain dollar amount, and then you will be given the billing, slip. Okay, so this much is the slip that you have consumed. This much is the slip for which you have been billed. So you will never be, you should always calculate it on the basis of credits that you have consumed. And we will see how that credits will be consumed, what is the slab provided for virtual warehouses and all that. We will see in this class today. So let's go back to our definition of credits here. I just read out to you. Okay. They are, so credits will be the measure which you will be used to pay for the consumption of resources. And those resources are, see, one good point here or to observe is basically, you need to observe here that here it does not mention storage, that the date for you will be charged for the data that you have stored. Okay. So this credits is basically only related to virtual warehouses, cloud service layer, or serverless features. Okay. It is not related to storage. The pricing model of storage is different. Okay. So credit will always be for these stuff, the processing stuff, not the storage stuff. Okay. And as we know from the architecture that all the three layers are independent of each other. They can be scaled up independently, right? Basically the compute layer and the storage layer are independent. They are decoupled. So the pricing is also decoupled. So the pricing also is also different. So as far as the warehouses, cloud service layer, serverless features are concerned, it will be credit-based consumption. And for storage, we'll see how it works. Okay. So moving on to from the credit, let's see what the pricing. So it says compute and storage are charged separately. Okay. So no matter how much usage of warehouse you are doing, it will not impact on the charges of storage and vice versa. Okay. Storage is charged based on the volume of data stored. Straight and simple. So the amount of volume of data you will be storing in your S3 buckets, that amount you will be charged. And that how it will be charged, what is the formula, that we will see. So compute is charged based on the usage, obviously. So the amount of usage your warehouses will do, only up to that you will be charged. Once the warehouses are turned off, you will not be charged anything for it. Okay. And how it is charged is, see this. So for example, if we have, you know, submitted a query here, okay, this is our query and this is our virtual warehouse. It is given to our virtual warehouse to process it. So how it works is initially, so the charging for virtual warehouses is per second. Okay, guys, charges per second. Okay, but it is billed completely for the initial 1 minute every time it is sped up. Okay, this is important. So what it means is, for example, if I fire a query and that query gets submitted to this virtual warehouse. So if this virtual warehouse is processing it for say 20 seconds, okay, that query takes 20 seconds to process, but the billing will be for the 1 minute itself, for the initial 1 minute. Okay, doesn't matter if it got processed before that 1 minute. Okay, so let's write down a few scenarios here to understand. So this query we submitted Q1. Okay, it got submitted to virtual warehouse 1, suppose, and it took 20 seconds to process. So the billing will be for 1 minute, complete 1 minute. That's the rule of Snowflake. Okay. After this, post this, it will be per second. Okay. So example, another query we submit Q2 to the same virtual warehouse. Okay. And it takes 1 minute, say 30 seconds. So it will be charged for 1 minute, 30 seconds. So initial 1 minute, anyway, it is charging. And from then onwards, it will be per second. For this, it will not be complete 1 minute, even though it has, consumed less than 1 minute or in the later half of the query processing. Okay. So this is the rule on which your warehouse billing works. So billing will be for And this is asked in certifications also, guys. So initial 1 minute will be built, and every time, so every time it is pinned up, which that is also important. So now say Q2 is over, okay, it has there's no more query in the queue here, okay, it is done now. As you know, Snowflake does the management itself. It turns off the virtual warehouse, okay, so that it does not, you are not charged for it, okay. All this management is done by Snowflake itself. So after that, say after maybe 10 minutes, one more query comes Q3, and it gets assigned to virtual warehouse one, and our Snowflake background processes turns on this virtual warehouse again to process Q3, and suppose it takes 45 seconds. Okay. So again, it will be built for 1 minute. So it is always the initial 1 minute which is built every time it comes up. That's how it works for the building for virtual warehouses. And that is what it says here also. It is built on per second basis, minimum of 60 seconds. Okay. Then compute is charged as per Snowflake credits usage. I just told you what is a credit. But I think Shiva just joined. So I will just quickly tell what a credit is. So I gave an analogy of a redemption voucher. So whenever you do a Google Pay or something, some online transaction, and you pay for certain amount, you do a shopping of certain amount, say 1,000 rupees, you bought a cinema ticket. So Google Pay or that online, vendor tells, okay, we give you 100 points for that transaction, and that 100 points actually maps to some money. So that could be 100 points, could be 50 rupees. And if you go on collecting it up to 1,000, it will be your 500 rupees. And then you can buy something with that. It could be an accessory, watch, or whatever. Similarly, in Snowflake, the compute resources, please make this note that it is the compute resources, not the storage layer. Okay. Only compute resources have this credit system of pricing. So the amount of usage by the virtual warehouses or the cloud service layer or the serverless features, the pricing depends on the amount of credits they have used. Okay. So normally it is 1 credit per hour, depending on the size of virtual warehouse. So you'll see look at the various factors on which the pricing depends. So, and it could be 1 credit could be $2, $3, and so on. So again, that also depends on the various factors, which we will see shortly. Okay. So that is what I was trying to tell, that credit based charging is done as far as compute resources are concerned. And under compute resources, you have virtual warehouse, cloud service layers, and serverless features, not the storage layer. Okay. And this is, as I told you, initial 1 minute. Always, whenever the virtual warehouse comes up from the suspension mode, whenever it resumes back, always the initial 1 minute will be built. And from then that point onwards, it will be per second basis. Okay. Let's go back to our slide and see now the pricing factors. Okay. Before telling you this, I will go to the website and show you, and then we'll come back to the slide. So this is the URL, guys, where you can also go and check out the pricing. First, let me copy paste. I'm sorry. I'll give you this URL first. Okay. And then you guys can also do your research. Okay. So this is the page which will give you the pricing model of Snowflake. Let's come down and see. Pay for the compute and storage you actually use. That's what we have been telling. Till the time you're using them, that is the only time you will be charged. Turn compute resources on and off so you can pay for what you use. Store near unlimited amounts of data at affordable cloud rates. Grow your analytics infrastructure with linear cost scalability. Okay, let's come back, come down. See, here also it says compute usage is built on per second basis with a minimum of 60 seconds. Okay. So guys, what are the different factors that will impact the pricing? It is these. It depends on the region you have been hosted on. Okay. So when you are creating your account, that time it will ask what region you want to host your Snowflake on. That it will depend on that. Okay. Then what is the edition that you are using? Those four are there, right? Standard, uh, business critical, enterprise, VPS, not in that order. I just told whatever I remember. Then for the storage, there'll be two options given to you. It will be on demand or pre-purchase capacity. So on demand will be as and when your data increases, there'll be a certain amount or certain formula based on which you will have to pay to Snowflake. Okay. It will be based on how your data is getting stored and how it is getting accumulated over the time. Pre-purchase capacity would be, okay, give me this amount upfront. Okay. And no matter how much data it should fit under that data, whether it is less or near to that, whatever you have chosen, that doesn't matter. You just give upfront money to Snowflake. It's not on demand. Okay. And then obviously for compute resources, it is the usage. As I told you, minimum of 1 second and then onwards, it is per second. So these are the factors which govern the pricing model. Okay. So if we go back to this URL here, see, choose pricing for your region and preferred platform, right? So obviously, when you say platform, it is AWS. Then you have to select your region. So my region was, I think it was East or something. Then obviously it will ask what currency, USD. And it will depend on the editions. See guys, these editions, it will depend on this. So I've selected it and see, you will see here. Cost per credit. Okay. So basically 1 credit, if you use, okay, for your compute resources, it will be $2 for the parameters that I have selected. Okay. So this is basically for standard edition. If it is business edition, enterprise, sorry, not business, enterprise, it will be $3. Okay. Then for your business, it will be $4 cost per credit. And VPS, they're saying contact us. Okay, so you need to contact them and they will let you know what is the pricing. So this is all guys for computing part. Okay, be very specific. This is for computing part, and below here, this is the storage. This one. So there's nothing to do with credits here, as you can see. See, so it says on demand storage, pay for usage month to month. So basically Snowflake pricing is based on month to month. So you will be billed on a monthly basis. Okay. So it says $40 per TB per month. This is on demand. So you will be charged with per TB for $40. And this is pay for usage upfront. That is per TB $23 per month. Okay. So this is how it looks like. So if we suppose change, so as you can see, the storage is same for across the editions here, the pricing. Okay, only the computes are different, but the storage pricing is same. Okay. So these are the various factors that depends on the pricing. Okay. So I had one use case. Let me show that to you. Okay. So guys, as you can see here, these are the names of students from my previous batch actually. So you guys can take one scenario each. So how many participants do we have? 6. So you guys can take one scenario each. First 3, Arumugam, Shiva, and Sudhakar, you take the first 2 scenario, and the rest of you take the scenario of these Satish and Raj. So the scenario is that you guys are Snowflake architects, okay, and you have an assumption that there is 100 GB storage per month. This is your assumption that you're in your project, and in your other project it is 10 GB storage per month, but the actual consumption is 20 GB. So this has happened over time. Okay, it doesn't matter what plan that you had chosen, whatever plan you had chosen. Over time, maybe after 1 or 2 months, you come to know that okay, this was our assumption, but actually my actual consumption is this only, 20 GB. So I want you guys to tell me what will you choose, on demand or pre-purchase, and the rest of the guys, your assumption, this is also again your assumption, but the actual consumption is 90. Okay, so no matter whatever you had chosen before, you have to decide now based on this research or monitoring of the storage that okay, I need to go with this plan. So tell me, and this is $40 per TB, and this is pre-purchased is $23 per TB. So give me the result for this. What will be your plan here? Okay, so I'll give you guys 10 minutes. Do it. And if you have any doubts before it, then you can ask me if you did not understand this.
Abdul, still, I'm not getting your question.
Okay, so so I am giving you these 2 guys here, Pawan Reddy and Mujib. This is your scenario. Okay, so as a Snowflake architect, you had assumed that my system will be storing 100 GB storage per month. That was your assumption. Okay, there was another system where you assumed that that will take only 10 GB per month. That is your assumption, okay, as an architect, because you have to do some assumptions, right, based on something. So after 1 or 2 months of monitoring, you find that, okay, you are only consuming 20 GB only per month. Although this is your assumption, 100 GB and 10 GB, but your actual consumption is less as to what you had assumed. So my question is, what will the pricing model that you would like to select? $40 that is on demand, $40 per TB, or $23 per TB? You know, did you understand, Arumugo?
Yes. You want me to answer now?
Yeah, if you are ready, you can answer.
See, in the first case, we monitored for almost 2 months. We noticed that we are consuming only 20 GB of data. And if we get pre-purchase like 100 GB, it's of no use. I know the amount of the data growing for the past 2 months. So I would like to go with the pre-purchase plan for up to 40 GB or something, because the data is not growing that much, right?
So you are going with, so your actual consumption is 20, you are going with pre-purchase, right?
Pre-purchase like 40 GB something, because the data is not growing that much for the past 2 months. So I would like to get a pre-purchase one for 40 GB.
No, pre-purchase is not. No, this is separate. This is not 40 GB. These 2 systems are separate. Tell me for separate systems. Tell me for this also separately, and tell me for this also separately. These both are on different accounts. Or do one thing. Don't get confused. Just tell me for this. Don't worry about this one. Leave this one.
Okay. For the first one, I would go with a pre-purchase plan, and second one, I would go with on-demand because the data is growing faster in the second case, right?
So first case, you will go with what? On demand.
Yeah, both the case on demand, yes.
Both the cases on demand.
Yes.
Why?
The pre-purchase plan, if I go with 100 GB, I should pay $23 per month, right? Because the data is not growing that much. It's like only 20 GB of data for the past 2 months of analysis. We found that the data went up to only 20 GB.
Okay,
So why would I need to get 100 GB?
So if we go with PPE, okay, which is basically for 1 TB, it is $23. That is you're paying upfront, okay? Okay. This is $23 for 1 TB. It's not for 100 GB. Okay. So if you want to pay upfront, you have to do like this. So 100 GB, how much? So you have to, based on this formula, you have to calculate. Okay. So this is for 1 TB. I mean, it's not that you have to pay upfront for 1 TB. If you have assumed it will be 100 GB, this formula will be applied to you. That up to 1 TB, it is $23. You have to pay upfront. So let's convert 100 GB to TB first. So how much 100 GB is how much TB?
100 GB is 1 TB.
$23, right?
Just a second, guys. My calculation is not that good. Okay, so it is 1 TB is not 100 GB, it is 1000 GB. So how much will it be? Point one, right?
It is not 1000 exactly, Abdul. It is 1024.
Yeah, that's fine. But it will be somewhere around 0.1, right?
Yeah, 0.1.
Yeah. So how much will be the cost for on demand? $2.3, right?
Huh.
Right. So it will be $2.3 for first case, and for second case also you are saying you will go for on demand only, right?
No, second case we have to go to pre-capacity. What I believe.
No. Who is this? Shiva.
Shiva, yeah. Abdul.
Yeah. Let's wait for Arumugam. Okay, just wait. So
Okay.
So Arumugam, you are saying what, on demand for second case, right?
Correct.
Okay. So how much will be 10 GB in TB? Zero one, right?
Yeah, 10 divided by 1000 is 0.01. Yes.
So that would be what? $0.3. $0.23.
0.23.
Okay. Okay. Now let's just calculate. Okay. Now Shiva, what is your answer for these two? You were trying to tell some answer, right? So now you can tell your answer.
Yeah. First one should be on demand. 100 should be on demand.
Okay.
And 10 GB per month and 20 GB. But you see the pre-capacity is always for the $23. Even if you use less, you have to pay $23, right?
Not $23. This formula. If you want,
No.
this is the amount you are going to pay upfront. So if you have assumed that I will be storing 10 GB per month, that is what you have assumed. So you have to pay upfront based on this formula.
No, my question is, Dul, if you choose a pre-capacity, I cannot pay less than 1 TB. I always minimum is $23, right?
No. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you have assumed that my system will take 10 GB per month. That is your assumption. Okay. So you are going to tell Snowflake that I want to pay upfront for 10 GB only per month. Upfront. Okay. So based on this formula, so they are saying, okay, for 1 TB, we charge $23 upfront. So for 10 GB, you based on this formula, give us that much money. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you tell.
Okay. $23.
I mean, if you have assumed that your system is going to take 10 GB, why should we pay for 1 TB? You
Yeah.
know? That is the formula actually. Based on this, you have to calculate like this.
Yeah, I think the second is also on demand would be fine.
On demand will be fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So who else I had given this to? Sudhakar, I think. Sudhakar, what is your answer? Give some different answer here.
Is it possible to have a hybrid of two models? Means,
No, not like that. Like you are saying, for 10 GB, give me prepaid, and for another 10 GB, give me on demand, like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Means if we are sure that we can use 10 GB, then we can go for on demand.
For that particular month, whatever you have chosen, that you have to give, but you can change it in the next month. It cannot be hybrid in the same month. Okay, but you can change the plan in the next month.
Okay. Then
For example,
I will go
Netflix, right? For example, we can have a premium plan this month, and if you want to change it to standard, then we can do it for the next month. Sorry. Yeah. So tell me, what is your strategy?
If we are sure about the data that we use for the month, then we will go for pre-purchase, because
No. This is your actual consumption. You had assumed this. This is your assumption. This is your actual consumption. 20 GB.
Okay. I am not 100% sure until I have.
Okay, no problem.
Not sure
No problem. Okay, no problem. So guys, see, they have chosen on demand on this formula. Okay. So let's see if what would have happened if it was pre-purchased.
Maybe Abdul, can I tell? This is Venkat.
Yeah, Venkat. For this.
Oh, now you're not gone for second one, no? Yeah, for me that one.
No, I am not gone for that. Just give me 5 minutes here. Okay. Suppose if they had chosen PP, okay, let's calculate this. Okay. Shiva, can you please calculate this for me? For if you had gone for PP, this is your PP, right? Okay, I think we did something wrong here, guys. I mean, on demand, we should have applied this formula. Sorry. It would be 40, right? You guys are not telling me also. I'm doing something wrong. You have chosen on demand, so it is $40 per TB, na? Correct?
Yeah, correct.
So $40 per TB, and that is on demand, means this one you have to consider because this is on demand, right? So 20 GB. So for 1 TB, it is $40. So for 20 GB, how much it will be?
0.8.
Huh?
So 20 divided by 1000 And then that gets multiplied into 40, right? So 0.8.
Yeah. This is your 0.02 TB. So that is your 0.8, right?
Yes, 0.8.
$0.8. Let's go back. So on demand is $0.8. And this will also be obviously $0.8 only because we are doing on demand. This is your on demand, right? This is what the actual consumption is. That is why we have to take this, not this. This is for PP, pre-purchased. This is for on demand. So this will also be same only, $0.8.
Yes.
Okay. So had we gone for PP, suppose, okay, suppose we had gone for PP, let's copy this for the first case. So we would have had to go for, so basically you said my assumption is 100 GB, I want to go for PP. So you are basically paying upfront for 100 GB, right? So that is what you are trying to do. So if you go for 100 GB here, that would be your 0.1 TB.
$2.3.
So this will be 2.3, right? So this would be $2.3. Okay, $2.3. $2.3. Similarly, for this, we have to take 10 GB. So 10 GB would be how much? We had calculated here somewhere.
0.23.
0.23. Now tell me, what should you have actually gone for?
So the first one on demand should be fine. For the second case, we should have gone for pre-purchase.
Pre-purchase.
Exactly. You understood how we try to calculate it? Okay. So now the other folks, not the first batch.
One question, Abdul. So in my second case, I pre-purchase plan. If I go for a pre-purchase plan, I got 10 GB, but my consumption of the data is more than 10 GB, right? How it works in that case?
No. So this is over the time you have monitored. Like first, so you bought some plan. Initially, you will not know what is the best fit for you.
Correct.
Right? So you had gone for some plan XYZ out of this whatever plan you went for. After 2 months, you are seeing that okay, I have assumed this, and I have been getting actually this. So if you have actually taken PP, then fine. You don't need to change your plan. Okay. But if you have taken on demand, then obviously you should consider it because you have been paying 0.8, but actually you can pay 0.3, 0.23. Okay. So we are trying to, whatever was chosen in the past, it doesn't matter. We are trying to find out what would be the right plan for us. That is what we're trying to find out, basically. Okay. So first case was correct, guys, for you, whatever you have chosen, but second case was wrong that you have chosen. So this is how you should calculate. Now, the Sudhakar, you understood, right?
Yes, Abdullah.
Okay, cool. So the other three folks, Venkat, Vinod.
Yes, Abdullah. I mentioned my choices in the chat.
Yeah. I mean, there was one more person. Vinod, Venkat, and who else? Did he go? Okay, no idea. Fine. So Vinod, you said what?
First, I'll go for on demand for Satish and pre-purchase for Raj, I think.
Okay. For this one on demand.
Yeah.
For Satish on demand. And for this PP.
Yes.
Okay. Your calculations, please. Can you give me the calculations? For on demand, what was your calculation?
Yeah, it will be like 100 GB, right? So 90 GB is
Actual.
0.9 TB into 40.
Correct. So how much?
Yeah, 36.
I don't think this is 0.9 TB. I
So
think
it will be on demand, right?
No, I'm talking about the conversion.
Oh, okay.
It is 0.09.
0.09. Sorry.
Yeah.
Into 40.
Into 40. So that
3.
would be
3.6. $3.6. 0.09 into 40, right?
Yeah.
3.6.
So this is for on demand. Okay. And what is for what did you choose for second case?
Pre-purchase points. No, it is for third and fourth case, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
2.07 for second. 0.09 into 23.
No, you chose pre-purchase, right?
Yeah, pre-purchase
So
23.
pre-purchase, you never take the actual consumption. You pay upfront for 10 GB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it will be 10 GB into 23. So 10 GB is 0.01, right?
Yes.
Into 23. So it is 0.23.
Okay. So, okay. And what about Venkat? What is your answer, Venkat?
My answer is that for the first person, I'll go for the on demand. For second person, I'll go for the pre-purchase.
Okay, same as Vinod.
Okay, and may I have one question also? Maybe post that I'll ask.
Okay. So let's do the vice versa. Had you gone for PPE here and had you gone for on demand? Okay. So that would be PPE would be what? 100 GB, $23. So it would be $2.3.
$4.
No, 2.3, no?
No. Total cost I'm telling $4.
How $4?
So 100 into 0.04.
No,
0.1 into
pre-purchased.
40.
I'm saying pre-purchased.
Correct. 100 divided by 1000 is 0.1 into 40 per TB. So $4.
No, 23.
Oh,
No.
pre-purchase.
Why you are looking at this? I am talking about pre-purchased.
Pre-purchase.
Okay.
$23.
Not 23.
Correct, Abdul.
2.3.
2.3. Yeah, you're correct.
Okay, so this is wrong. Okay. What about this? If had you gone for on demand, so that would have been 90.09 into 40, which is nothing but the first one that you did here. So this is correct. I mean, it's nothing is right and correct. You will be ending up paying more. Okay. So, I mean, that would be more costlier if you select on demand for the first case.
Okay.
So if you see a pattern, here, we are, whenever there is a assumption of more data, but if it is less, we see that we have gone for PP. Okay, and if it is the other way around, we have gone for what? Sorry, for the first case, if the assumption is more, but the consumption is less, we have gone for on demand. And if the assumption is more and the consumption is more than that, we have gone for pre-purchase. So that is the kind of pattern we conclude with this.
But Abdullah, like tell me, on a real case scenario, we will be doing this plan for over a period of time, right? 10 to 12 months.
Yes. So if over the period of time, if you had chosen already pre-purchase for the first case, and if you are monitoring it, then you don't need to change the plan.
Okay.
Okay, but you can always change the plan if it is not actually, coming out very economical for you. You can always change it the next month. So you will have to do some trial and error. Okay, and then this is the formula based on which you can calculate.
Yeah. So my question is, see, during let's take an example of a retail store, right? So in retail store, you are expecting some kind of 100 GB data for a let's assume 12 months. So during the end of the year, like between October to December, you will get more data, whereas during the mid of the year, you will get less data. So the normalization will happen.
Yeah, so you can keep juggling between the pricing, right?
Okay, okay. So there is no limit of changing,
No,
like
no,
per
this is
year
per
you need to
month.
change this. Okay,
No, this is per month.
okay,
See,
okay,
if
clear.
you
Clear.
see this, see this,
Okay, month to month basis. Okay,
see this. Okay.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
So this is about how storage and compute resources work as far as the pricing model goes. Can someone go on mute? I'm hearing bell ringing. Okay, thank you guys. So yeah, so just go and look at this pricing model. I told you on what all factors it depends: region, edition, on demand, pre-purchased, the amount of usage and all that, right? And most of the time, this on demand and pre-purchased across the editions are same only most of the time. So let's see if there's any change. I mean, I'm not saying that it will always be the same, but it can change. Maybe let's try another cloud provider. Say, let's see, maybe what, Azure. Iowa. Okay, so they also have same. Okay, see, there's a change. $35 and $20. So,
And if you
and
choose Europe also, there will be a change in the,
where?
sorry, same Amazon, AWS, if you choose Europe,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
will be difference. Yeah,
yeah.
45 something, 30.
Okay, we choose Ireland. No, it's the same, right? Let me choose another maybe. So this is, just trying to show you that these are the factors. Yeah, if you see here, it's changed. Uh, this is increased by $2 and this is increased by $1 here, 42 and 24. So it depends on your various factors. Okay, the cloud provider, the region, the kind of, so additions are not impacting your storage as far as it is concerned, but yes, they impact the credits.
Abdul, one question, Abdul,
Yeah.
about the region. So this is not an on-premise database, right? So what is the use of the region? Why we have a different phrasing based on it? We can choose any region, right? Because anyway, it's a cloud only, right?
No, can I answer Abdul for this?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. See,
You are making my job easy.
yeah. See, the regions, right? Region is the place where the physical data center being located. If you see in AWS, there are lot of regions and availability zones, right? In region itself, there is separate classification called availability zone. That is a physical data center AWS runs. For example, if you have the data stored in India, right? If you want to run your projects or report, you are running some BA reports from the data, then the data from India has to travel through the network to be viewed in the US location, right? So in this case, the latency plays a big role. For example, in most of the cases, what client does is, right, they will choose the region which is very closer to their on premises, or people actual end user used to sit and consume the data. consume means view, right? We or use the data. Mostly the strategy would be choose your region very near to your on-premise data center. That is how in the real world this is happening. Maybe Abdul can
If the data is being used across the country by all the users, I mean both US as well as Europe region means?
Yeah, still,
Globally,
yeah,
basically.
globally, right? Still, I will have to find the strategy. For example, I have 60 users in India, in Asia region, right? Or 40 users in US, right? I will classify. I will divide my virtual warehouse into two different regions, right? So one is from US region and one is from India region. I will classify my data and processing based on that. Whatever job which Asia people are accessing, I will run my job in the virtual warehouse setup created at Asia region. That is how. That is how they separate. So that is what I see here in most of these cases. Maybe I'm wrong. Abdul can answer.
Okay.
No, you're absolutely right. So basically, I think Vinod was asking that, right?
Arumugam.
No, the question was from Arumugam.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Arumugam. So yeah, so see, you said on-premise. So I mean, there's a difference between on-premise and cloud. So when we're talking about cloud, it is also a data center somewhere, physically, which has been, instated as a infrastructure. It's only that you can access it sitting from anywhere, from your office, from your home. It is in the cloud. The cloud means, but it's still physically somewhere, right? That it's ultimately a machine that you're accessing from your laptop. It's the same concept as a VDI concept. So the VDI which you connect to through your Citrix and then do your development and all that. So that machine and that VDI is also sitting somewhere physically in some data center. So when you are creating an account for Snowflake, it is asking you which region do you want. So if it is Amazon, if you're hosting it on Amazon, and if you say, okay, I want to host it on North Virginia, so they will go find those machines in this location for you. Okay, so how do you choose the region? So as Shiva said, if you are sitting in India, and if most of your business is basically going to run, your CEOs and your analyst folks are going to work on the reports sitting in India. So obviously you will have to host in India itself, in some region in India, maybe Mumbai or Calcutta, like that, because the network latency would come into picture. Okay, so it is very obvious that if I want to access data from Europe as compared to India, in my physical case, my geographic location, for me, it is obvious choice is the Asia Pacific region, somewhere in Asia. That will be lesser latency as compared to what I'm trying to access somewhere in Europe. Okay, so that is how you have to choose your region. Understood?
Yes, got it. Thank you.
So ultimately, it boils down to network latency. Okay. So Shiva, anything you want to add?
No, Abdul, you are fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So guys, this is you can play around, just change the settings here, parameters here, see how it is impacting it, how this is changing. We saw credits also change in some cases here. I could see 5.7, 3.4, something like that here in some cases. So yes, if you want, you can definitely go and check this. And always remember, compute resources have credits, storage don't have credits. They have these on-demand and pre-purchase two pricing models. And this is the formula that we just saw, $40 per month. This is an average price we took, okay? It is not necessary. It will be the same always. So that's why I mentioned the average cost, okay? Average cost. That's why I mentioned it. And so this is a Snowflake tip, guys, okay? This is not from me. This is from Snowflake. What it says is start with on-demand pricing, monitor the data storage for a month or two, identify the pattern, compare the cost with pre-purchase capacity pricing and choose accordingly. Okay, so this is what Snowflake suggests. Cool. Let's see the pricing for virtual warehouses, guys. As I told you in the beginning, when we were studying about warehouses, you can choose different warehouse sizes, X small, small, medium, and all that. And then you will have nodes accordingly associated with those sizes. For X small, it will be 1, for small, it will be 2, for medium, 4, and multiples of 2, which will go on. So this is a kind of a pictorial depiction, how XS looks, how small looks, and all that. Okay, just for your visualization. So this is your credits per hour. So if you chose a size warehouse of X small, which is 1 node per cluster, and if it gets consumed for an hour, okay, it will be 1 credit. Okay, 1 credit, and if you convert it to seconds, it will be 0.003 credits per second. Okay, so and so on. So for small, if you consume it for hour, 2 credits. So it doesn't, your Snowflake doesn't add it to the bill unless 1 hour goes by. Okay, so I mean, it is charging you for per second only, but it will, on the billing, it will reflect after an hour also for you, because it will not keep updating the billing, like that. So it will just keep it somewhere, and it will ultimately give you the complete billing at once for an hourly basis. Okay, that is why it is given you credits per hour also and credits per second also. So yeah, so this is all the, so as you can see, the size, if you have 1 node, it is 1 credit. If you have 2 nodes, it is 2 credits. If you have 3 nodes, 4 nodes, it is 4 credits. So this is same as nodes only, this credits per hour. Okay, that is how you will be charged. So
Abdul,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt. So even if I have 2 nodes inside my virtual warehouse, for example, like a small one,
yeah.
if my query uses only 1 node, also I'll be paying the same amount. It's based on the warehouse and not the node, or how it works.
Yeah, it's based on the warehouse.
Irrespective of how many nodes it is being used, I should pay the same amount for the warehouse.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay,
And don't worry, Snowflake takes care of that. It will not, internally, it will not charge you for the other node which is not doing anything.
It means, so whatever, how many nodes I'm being used inside that warehouse, for only that I'm being charged?
Yes, and so that is why the pricing is virtual warehouse, on the virtual warehouse, not the node level.
No, but if they are charging based on the virtual warehouse, if I have 8 node for the large size, if I'm not consuming all the 8 nodes, still I should be paying for that entire warehouse, right?
If you use the virtual warehouse for 1 hour, then you will be charged 1 credit. 8 credits.
Even if I'm not consuming the 8 node, also I should pay 8 credit per hour, right?
Yeah. So if suppose you are using 1 node only in that 8 node cluster, so if that 1 node, unless it reaches 1 hour of usage, you will have to pay 8 credits per hour.
Yeah,
So
let's
it is
assume
on,
I'm using only 1 node for 1 hour. So still I will be paying 8.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
So basically it is not based on the node, based on the warehouse, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you see, when we say that it spins up the virtual warehouse, so we never say it spins up the node inside it. Okay, when it spins up the virtual warehouse, the whole virtual warehouse comes up. Okay, so no matter how many nodes are in that, they all come up with it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the pricing chart, guys. And if you go back to the pricing model, and if you have chosen standard, then you will multiply this $2 with that credit. Okay, so if you have used 1 credit per hour, it will be $2 for standard. If it is small size, it will be $4 for standard, and so on for these different editions here. So you just multiply with that credits, total consumed credits. If you have consumed $10 for enterprise, you multiply with 3. So that will be $30 for you. So that's how it works. Okay. So
Abdullah, Sudhakar here.
Yeah.
Is it possible to change the warehouse size dynamically?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
say,
it is.
okay.
So
In
that's
production
what,
environment, right?
yeah,
It
any
will.
environment you can do. So that's what we studied some days back, right? That
Yeah,
resizing,
initially. Yeah.
resizing we can
Yeah.
do anytime.
Okay.
Okay. And guys, one more thing I wanted to, thanks for bringing up that question. I wanted to just clarify one thing because I don't remember what exactly I told you guys. So there is a difference between scale up and scale out. Okay. These are the terms. So
Then
scale up,
if you are able
sorry.
if you are able to if you are able to resize this dynamically, then the billing also will change, right? It won't be on monthly basis, right?
Yeah. So virtual warehouse is not on monthly basis. It is on credits basis, the amount of credits you use. But billing, that whole bill, whatever you have consumed, that will come on a month basis. I mean, if you have consumed one credit in that whole month, which means basically you have used your warehouse only for 1 hour in that whole month. So you will be only charged with one credit, whatever, 1 into 2, 1 into 3, whatever dollar it is. That $3 you have to pay monthly. That is what it means.
Okay.
Okay, it is not. It is the credits are per hour, but whatever amount you have to pay at the end of month, it is not that okay. Today you have consumed 10 credits. Please pay now. It is not like that. It is not. It is not a payment on a daily basis. The payment you have to do is on a monthly basis in Snowflake.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So one doubt, not doubt. I wanted to just correct one thing. So scale up means resize, guys. Resize of the virtual warehouse where you are, increasing or decreasing your nodes, the cluster, basically the size of the warehouse. But scale out means increasing the clusters. Okay, so this is also asked in certification, scale up and scale out difference. So this is what I wanted to just, reiterate.
Abdul, that day you were told scale up and resize.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Oh, okay. Okay, got
Okay,
it.
which is why I wanted to clarify this. Okay.
Because AWS uses the same term, scale up and scale out.
Mhm. Actually, there's one more batch going on, right? So there, I was teaching them, and that time I told them this definition, and I remembered, I think, vaguely remember that I think I told something wrong related to this for your batch. So that's why I just wanted to confirm, correct it. Okay, so please remember this and apologies for the wrong information. Yeah. So this is, guys, this is a chart provided by Snowflake. Okay. And I told you how to calculate, and you will be charged per second. Okay. So initial 1 minute, you can multiply with this 60. If you use it for 60 seconds, 60 seconds or 1 minute, just multiply with that. That much you will be charged. And from that point onward, it will be per second. And these are some other costs that also incurred, which is data transfer cost. Okay. So if you are moving or copying data between regions or clouds, that incur data transfer charges. Okay, such as external tables, external functions, data lake export may incur data transfer charges. So data transfer charges are also given somewhere here, guys. If you go here, there's a big chart. I mean, you don't have to learn it, but I saw one chart for data transfer also. Okay, let's Google it. Okay, we need to go to the pricing guide, guys. Okay. See, all customers for the storage, it says all customers are charged monthly fee for the data they store in Snowflake. Storage cost is measured using the average amount of storage used per month after compression for all customer data stored in Snowflake. So I had already told you that whenever we are storing data in Snowflake, it is encrypted as well as compressed. Okay, so that security is provided and it is on a monthly basis. And then if you talk about virtual warehouse, a virtual warehouse is one or more compute clusters that enable customers to load data and perform queries. Customer pay for virtual warehouses using Snowflake credits. Okay, that's what we just saw. It's nothing to do with how many nodes you're using internally, or that is all managed by Snowflake, guys. I mean, how many nodes to use internally, that Snowflake will decide. See, ultimately it will depend on the kind of time taken by the query or loading process that you are doing, right? Because it is the work that defines the usage of virtual warehouse. It's not actually that, okay, you have kept it on for some time and you're not doing anything on that. It's not that. I mean, if you are making it work, if you're doing some processing on it, so how much time that processing is taking, and obviously that amount of time your compute will also be used. For example, if you submitted a query and it consumes whole 1 hour of your virtual warehouse, and say it is an X small size virtual warehouse, so it will take 1 credit for that query processing. Okay, so it's ultimately the workload that you're giving to the virtual warehouse. Okay, then you have your cloud services. Cloud services layer provides all permanent state management and overall coordination of Snowflake. Customers pay for cloud services using Snowflake credits. For this also, it is Snowflake credits only. Okay, so
Abdul, this is Venkat. I have a doubt.
yeah.
See, for example, you are told regarding that virtual pricing model. So it's better to increase the nodes, in the sense nodes, or it's better to increase the virtual warehouse. For example, you can take a example like I have medium of $4 for the node, and small is $2. So both will be costing me $4 if I go for 2 cluster, or if I go for a single cluster. So I want to increase the node or the cluster.
Okay, so both have a different purpose. So when you are increasing the nodes, that is always for the purpose of enhancing the query performance. Okay, and when you are increasing the clusters, that is for tackling the problem of concurrency, the queuing of the queries. So both have different purposes. Okay, so that is when you do that, and this also you have to over the time monitor. Like if my loading process, initially I said, okay, for my loading process I'll be taking a large compute warehouse. Okay, and if that is taking around say what 2 hours, uh, so will it so you will have to compare, like if I am able to do it for more, I mean if I'm able to extend it for 3 hours, and I can just go with medium, and if it saves my cost, I can do that also. So that also you have to monitor over the time. But as you are asking, it is better to increase the nodes or it is better to increase the virtual warehouse. That is actually for different purpose. I mean, you increase the nodes to increase or enhance the performance of the query, which a query which is taking a lot of time to run. That time you increase the nodes, or that is what when you do scale up or resizing. But for concurrency issues, there's a lot of query queuing happening. That is the time when you increase the clusters. Okay, so both have different purposes. I think I had
But
asked this question in the group also.
okay, the reason why I'm asking is that if I am using the 2 cluster, right? If user is going to consume only 1 cluster, then for me it's a benefit because it's going to go for the single cluster cost. The reason I ask. Okay, Badal.
Wait. Let me. Yeah, so you are saying if you are using 2 clusters, right? That's what you are asking. And what is the size of your warehouse?
Maybe you can keep small actually.
Small means 2 nodes.
Yes.
Okay, 2 clusters. Yeah. Now what you are saying?
So another one is a single cluster with 4 nodes.
In the same virtual warehouse?
No, no, this is a different virtual ones.
Okay, this is one warehouse. This is one warehouse. So this is 4 node single cluster. You're saying this like
Yes,
this?
yes, yes.
Okay, just a minute. Yeah. So now what you're saying?
What I'm asking is that see, if you go for the medium, no, for example, if you take $4 for a virtual works, no,
Mhm.
for the second condition, if I go for a small, no, can I split into 2 clusters? Maybe this will come into 2 clusters actually. The first scenario, no, it will
Yeah.
be a 2 cluster actually.
Yeah, like this,
So
no?
you
You're
can
saying.
assume that both are $4 only per hour. You can take it's both are $4 only. 2 cluster. I am using there only 1 cluster. So my ask is that which is a beneficial. What I'm thinking that if you split into cluster, no, sometimes if I utilize only 1 cluster in the top alone, it will go for $2 only for me. It will not consume all $4. But I am go for second option. It will consume for all $4 actually. That's the
Correct,
reason I'm
correct,
asking.
correct, correct. So see, whenever you create virtual warehouses, right? For example, you created these 2 warehouses. So it could be that this particular warehouse is for some other purpose, maybe just for the loading purpose. And this is probably for reporting purpose. Maybe you need more resources. So suppose the purpose is now same only. Suppose initially for reporting, you said, okay, we will go with 4 node cluster, which is medium sized warehouse and just 1 cluster. Okay, so so that is what, $4 per credit, right? We go to the pricing model here. For medium, it is 4 credits per hour. And you said, okay, no, I think we can go with uh, 2 clusters of your
Small
small one. So that will be
nodes.
2. Okay. So that will be 2 credits per hour.
Yes.
Yeah. So if it is solving your purpose, I mean, if it is taking
So
same
that
amount of
also will
time.
be 4. That also will be 4 only. No, Abdul. 2 clusters. No,
No, no, no, it is
two
not.
virtual
It is
areas. No.
this. No, no, no. This whole thing is one warehouse. This whole thing is one warehouse. Inside it is cluster. So this
Okay.
is the hierarchy. This is the hierarchy. See, warehouse, it holds clusters. Clusters holds nodes. That's how it is. This is not 2 warehouse. This is 1 warehouse. This whole thing.
Okay.
Okay. So if it is solving, so I mean, if this is taking the same amount of time as this, so obviously you are saving the cost. So it is the same like monitoring what we did for storage also. You have to do this. So in the subsequent slides, there are some optimization tips given. In that it will be mentioned. So I will read out for you. This same thing will be mentioned there also. So does it solve your doubt?
Yes, yes, Abdul.
Okay, so I wanted to show you the data transfer chart actually. So I mean, just I'll read this out for you guys. So see, Snowflake supports a wide range of virtual warehouse sizes. We already know all this. The size of virtual warehouse determines how fast queries will run. Understood? So you just asked me when to increase the size and when to increase the clusters. So when you want your queries to run fast, if it is taking a lot of time, the size of the virtual house will decided. And what is the size? These are the sizes. So it is a nodes per cluster, basically. That is your size. For concurrency issues, when your queries, lot of queries are queuing in, then you will have more clusters in that virtual warehouse to avoid that problem. When a virtual warehouse is not running, it does not consume any Snowflake credits. Okay. And the different sizes of virtual warehouse consume Snowflake credits at the following rates. These are the rates billed by the second with a 1 minute minimum. We just saw that. Okay. Cloud services resources are automatically assigned by Snowflake based on the requirements of workload. Okay. Typical utilization of cloud service up to 10% of daily compute credits is included for free. Okay. So whatever 10% of work cloud services are doing daily, it is free, and you don't have a particular chart for this. Okay, but this is very minimal, and you will not see a very drastic incremental charges for this service. Okay, there's no chart as such for this, and these are services features I told you, right? Snowpipe, materialized views, database replication. They have their different pricing. So this we will see when their own topics come. Okay, but these are also credit based, because ultimately these are also machines only, computing resource only. This is what these features are, serverless features, but they are also using credits. So we will always, I mean, definitely, I mean, we'll be seeing all this in details, what Snowpipe materialized views are. Okay, then different editions, what services they give to you. I wanted to show the data transfer. Yes. See, so the customer who wish to move the data between regions, for example, you are in AWS, where this is the region where your data is stored. Okay. If you want to transfer to the same region and same cloud, it will be zero charges. Okay. But if you want to transfer to different region, for example, Virgin US East to say Ohio, or maybe to Asia Pacific, it will be $20 per TB, but same cloud. But if you want to transfer it to different cloud, which is your maybe Azure or GCP, it will be $90. So that's how these prices are, provided by Snowflake. So this is not AWS. Then you have Azure charges also within the same provider to other cloud provider. Then you will have for GCP also, like this. Okay. So you have to do calculations based on this, guys, these charts. You can open up this pricing guide, go to the pricing guide, fill your details. You don't have to give any credit card details for this. Just go and give it, and it will show you this charts, and then you do your calculations. Okay, so there are some pricing examples also given here. Although we did our examples, you can just go and study this as well, like what it is doing. It will give you a good understanding of that. Two examples are given here. Okay, guys. So today, guys, I have some work at 10 o'clock, which is why I wanted to wind this class up by 9:30. We just saw data transfer cost and cloud service cost also. These are some optimization tips we will see tomorrow. And then tomorrow we will start with Snowflake Web UI. So tomorrow we'll be creating our accounts also, and we will be doing a tour also. And this is a very small topic of releases. I mean, this is asked in your certification sometimes. It is not something major of understanding point of view. It is just when does the Snowflake releases happen and all that kind of stuff. That we will see. And it is just we are covering it because it gets asked in the certification. Okay, so we'll stop here, guys. Any questions for today?
Maybe Abdul Venkat, is that a developer should know the rates actually? I am asking in the terms of interview perspective. Is that developer should know the what is the rates and everything?
Yeah, you should know the rates. I mean, you don't need to mug up this chart, that data transfer chart which I just showed you, right? You don't need to mug up. But what will happen is, in the certification, they will say, okay, we want to transfer data from AWS to some other region, or some this data transfer related question will be like that. Does data transfer incur cost? True or false? So it does. So that is why you should need to know the pricing model I mean, it is okay if you don't know the rates by heart, but these simple ones, like these average cost for storage, for example, it is $40 per month for on demand, then it is $23 per month for pre-purchase, which is an average cost. Okay, it can be different based on the region, edition, and all that stuff. Not edition, but region. But you can just know this average cost, and then you can. This is very simple to understand this cost. I mean, it is per whatever node size it will be there. The credits per hour will be the same. Okay, for example, Medium has 4 nodes, so it will be 4 credits per hour. So that way you can easily remember it. I mean, interviewers will not ask you for the rates. They will ask you what will be your strategy. For example, we did that use case exercise for storage purpose. So they will give you a scenario and they will say which is a better strategy for pricing. Okay, that way they will ask you. You should know how to calculate it basically.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Any questions, guys? Okay. So tomorrow we will look at the optimization techniques and some tips that are these are all provided by Snowflake only. What all we should consider in mind when we are creating your warehouses and storage. Storage we already saw, and we saw the tip also. And this will take only 5-10 minutes, not much. And then we will start our Snowflake Web UI journey. We'll do the tour. We'll see different tabs, what they do, and on a high level. And then we'll from then on that point onwards, we'll be working on Web UI only, and finding queries and creating virtual warehouses. And then you will be better able to relate whatever we have studied till now. Okay. So yeah, whatever concepts you have till now, don't worry, they are quite good. When we start the Web UI, you will more solidify that concept and it will be more clear to you that time. Okay, guys. So I will, if there's no questions, I'll stop now and we will meet tomorrow. Same time. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend ahead.
Thanks.
Same to you. Thanks, Abdul.
Please remember that scale up and scale out difference. Okay. Thank you, guys.